Today I am talking about Suzanne Valadon. She's a French painter born in 1865 in Bissonnay-sur-Gartempe, a commune in western France. She lived a fairly long life, passing at age 72 in Paris in 1938. She grew up with her mother, who was an unmarried laundress. Her father was not in the picture. She went to primary school up until age 11, and at that point, she began a series of jobs, including a milliner's workshop, factory making funeral wreaths, waitress, and even just selling vegetables. By age 15, she became a performer as an acrobat in Cirque Fernando, and she obtained this job through her connections with symbolist painters Count Antoine de la Rochefoucauld and Theo Wagner. This circus was frequented by artists, which was helpful to her since her circus career ended rather quickly due to a trapeze fall injury. And so after her job as an acrobat, she moved on to model for several artists such as Pierre-Auguste Renoir and Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. Lautrec was actually her lover for 2 years, and here is a painting he did of her in 1885. In the early 1890s, she befriended Edgar Degas, an impressionist artist who was very impressed by her work and even encouraged her to grow her talents. He actually invested in some of her paintings, buying them for himself. She mostly produced drawings between 1883 and 1893, but then she began to paint in 1892. She used her family members as models, her mother, her son, her niece. Here is a drawing she did of her son in 1890 when he was 7 years old. One of her earliest surviving signed and dated works is a self-portrait from 1883, which was drawn in charcoal and pastel. You can see that here. She began painting full-time in 1896, and she would do still lifes, portraits, flowers, and landscapes, and these were all noted for their rich, vibrant colors, though she was best known for her candid female nudes, and these attracted a lot of attention. Here's an example from 1895, and while this is not a painting, it still showcases how she depicted the female form. She attracted attention for her unidealized depictions of women's nude forms. There were social norms put in place by male artists, and she upset those. Her earliest known female nude was executed in 1892, though this one is from 1895. Around that time, an art dealer, Paul Durand-Ruel, exhibited a group of her etchings that showed women in various stages of their toilettes. She was the first woman painter accepted as an exhibitor in the Salon de la Nationale in 1894, which was especially notable due to the fierce competition for its acceptance, but also the fact that she was the first woman to be accepted. She didn't really confine to a specific style, though she did demonstrate aesthetics of symbolism and post-impressionism. She liked to paint working-class models, and it was suggested that her portrayal of the women in her works were influenced by her experiences as a model herself and from her working-class status. She didn't like to do typical depictions of women as seen in most other art of the period. She also painted several nude portraits of herself, and she would paint these throughout her life to realistically depict her aging process. She emphasized the importance of the composition of her portraits over other techniques, such as, certain eye techniques and things like that. She was known for bold line and color, but her later works displayed an increase in brightness in color and emphasis on background details and patterns. And we can see that here in the Blue Room from 1923, with the intricate patterns along the background and on the bedding, and just how rich the colors are. And